do is commit.
Yeah. Sham it.
Man, I'll tell you what, muting every tweet I send has been a godsend.
Welcome, everyone, to the Renegade Realm Podcast. It's episode 49.
This dude, I swear.
Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with us. We got Grey Monad, Lotus Esprit, Happy Bomb, Andrew Cullinane, as always, and Ashina. The Elemental Hero Shadow Link Dragon Wolf King. I love that. I love that
Best
so
name
much. That it sounds like what anime characters scream right before they do like a big move. Elemental Hero Shadow Link Dragon Wolf King, and then they, blow everything up. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm Red Wolf. I'm your host, and today joined by my very good friends, as always. That Blue Number and that Cold Eastwood. Holly, how are you? No, wait. Oh, wait. You're eating. No, good. No. You actually, go ahead.
Sorry, chat. I literally got home like 5 minutes before he hit the button, and I've had an epic day. So, and not necessarily in the best way. Very, very busy, but I'm here, and I'm ready to talk about whatever Red wants to say. We shall see. It might be gaming, it might not.
Probably not. What have you had time to play anything in your busyness? Busyness? That didn't sound right. Go ahead.
What have I played? I feel like I haven't gamed in like 2 or 3 days, which is weird for me. I play Call of Duty. That is what I'm not gonna. I promised to myself is like shut up about Call of Duty, but literally that's like all I've done. The like couple hours I've played this weekend. That's all I've played. And Dredge. I've been playing Dredge. I really, really like Dredge.
That's the little indie game where you're a boatman, right? Oh yeah.
You have to dredge for stuff. It's really good.
Okay. I don't know what dredge means. Is that when you wash clothes?
I can tell you.
Okay. Dredge is when you sit.
I won't bore you. When I
Is it
sit,
dredge when you scrape the bottom of a river? Looking
Mhm.
for
Sorry,
the,
she-
for the, for the
I
revolver that was
misunderstood.
thrown in there?
I thought you said I'm in a chair so I can tell you, and I was like, so you can only, so it's when you're sitting. I don't know. Anyway, I misunderstood. It's fine. Perfect. Colt Eastwood, my good friend, saved the show because we were down 2 people, and so Colt came in as a third to complete the trifecta of insanity here. Thanks so much, bro, for coming on, man. How are you? What you been into?
A lot. It's like life is a crazy roller coaster. I didn't save the show. I just made sure it went on, I suppose.
That's saving.
It's been crazy. A lot of
God, Lotus.
weird stuff going on in the industry, but a lot of stuff to be excited about. It's gonna be okay, I think.
It's gonna be okay. Have you been
Yeah.
playing anything, lately?
Yeah. I slapped myself really hard this week and reinstalled like 3 games that I left behind at the end of last year, or just let's get back into play. I got really picky. Talked about this yesterday. So I'm playing Assassin's Creed Mirage, and I kind of getting like really immersed into it instead of being dismissive, and it's all right. It's all right. I'm having a good time. I've been playing Mafia 3 on PC. Played like 2 or 3 hours of Helldivers last night with Fonz and his brothers, like his actual brothers, which is pretty hilarious to play a game with your friend and hear his brothers like razz him, like they're punching him in front of their dad. It was great.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
like they're calling each other names and making fun of how, just making fun of each other. I'm like, oh man, I wish my brothers play video games, and they don't.
Wish my brothers loved me. No, I'm just kidding. I imagine that Fonz's brothers all sound like they all just sound like Fonz, right?
No, they didn't. But I was able to pick out their voices and their names and their little icon, which just has a 1 letter and a number, right? And we had a pretty good time. I still kind of feel the same about Helldivers. I'm glad I'm playing with people I can hang out with. Now I can play with Gaz and Holly and whoever has the game, Dante. But yeah, I've been doing that. It's been nice.
That's so cool, man. And I'm glad that you're getting into Mirage because I think whenever I got into it, it was like a refreshing Assassin's Creed. But I think you mentioned that the combat was kind of like lacking, left you wanting, but
yeah, there's just a little bit that I think they could have made better.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lotus Esprit. They're in the chat. Hey, I'm not driving anymore. You should read. That's burning my eye over here. This super
So
chat.
I wanted to thank Lotus. You're like, oh! Lotus Esprit is so fucking generous. They donated $100 super chat, which is just so nice. Every time that happens, I get like a heart palpitation, and I'm like, and it makes me a little emotional. They say, yeah, all my favorite people in one place. I'm sorry if that was really loud. I'm trying to adjust my volume to where it's not blowing everyone
get everybody
away.
else.
Right, yeah, exactly. So,
We're the
Lotus,
best. I'm kidding.
thank you so much, Lotus. That just means so much. I sincerely appreciate you. I can't. That's all I can ever say is just thank you. And shout out to everyone else here in chat. Let's see. Grey Monad is... Oh, that's right. Okay, everyone is still here. Good. Grey
Shout out to
Monad,
Happy
you're just...
Bomb.
To Happy Bomb, yes. I think everyone that was here before is still here. Grey Monad is pulling a Timmy right now and just saying hello to everyone. I love it. Fantastic.
Like when I was blocked, I'm like, I said hi to Timmy. You didn't say something back. Something's wrong.
Something's wrong here. Yeah, exactly.
That's the sign.
That's a sign. Oh, man. You know what else is a sign? Sign of the times is these ding-dang layoffs. And you guys are smarter than me, and which is great. And I love that. I love that for you guys. But I also love it for me because you can tell. I'm gonna ask for a friend. In my understanding of layoffs, from what I have seen in my line of work over the past few years, and now actually being in a larger. Well, I don't want to go into detail, but it seems to me So for anyone who didn't know, PlayStation just had a huge layoff. Was it over 900 people just got laid off? A studio was shut down, and a couple games were were actually canceled. So that sucks. Layoffs, we always talk about that. It's really sad because you're just when I say you're just a person, you're as a developer, these people they have no control over what happens, because the higher ups just care about numbers, right? So whenever a huge influx of money comes in, like profit comes in, that's when we see a lot of layoffs. Is that right? Isn't that typically how that happens? So like money comes in, right? Company makes a bunch of money. They have like an influx, like they have a spike in their profits. That's whenever you can expect layoffs.
A spark in their privates.
A spark in their privates.
Sparks in their privates.
Yes.
It's gonna be that night. All right.
Yes. Yeah. Toki was like, "Ooh, lay some people off."
just to set the record straight, nothing makes Red laugh harder than someone flip-flopping two syllables or whatever in a phrase. And
I don't know.
You
what
almost said sparks their privates.
Yes, I did.
No.
See, I did the thing that I'm always.
That's what it would be. Sparks their privates.
Sparks their privates, exactly. Nothing sparks my privates like chat being so nice. Project Bradford fight with a.
She was a real private sparker.
Oh, she knows how to spark my privates. Brad Ward fight. Thank you so much
And
for
the
the
legs
$2.
were blown clear.
His legs were blown clear. I miss his chocolate cake. Spetch. Brad, thank you so much for the $2.79 super chat. What currency is that? Is that California money? It says CA.
Canadian.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
So dumb.
Oh my god.
Thanks for the California $2.79.
What does that convert
What's the
to?
conversion on that?
Cowabunga.
Right. Thank you,
Is it
Brad.
avocados?
Gotcha. Project Spark Forever. You guys remember Project Spark? That was when it was a video game where you made video games.
Ben's been talking about that lately.
Yeah.
Ben
Yeah.
Kenobi has been talking about how much he loves it. He's like, please support it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely made me realize how hard video games were. I'm like, this game is finished, kind of, and I can't even make it work. Anyway, thank you, Brad. Yeah, I remember that game. I tried to be creative, and I failed. Look at me now. Look at me now, Dad. What were we talking about? Oh, privates. That's right. So, here we go. So, okay, so from what I have seen is that companies tend to lay off employees whenever they have a profit spike because they want to show that their numbers are good. I'm really bad with terminology, so please forgive me, guys. I know what I want to say, I just don't know how to say it. You know what I mean? Colt, tell me how the world works in the layoff land.
You're so good at this.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, during the COVID worldwide pandemic, money was up big for video gaming, so they overhired quite a bit of people across all these studios, all these platforms, and well, really the whole industry was like kind of ballooning up while big money was coming in. And then once things settled down, you got inflation, and then you got another thing coming in, which is automation, which is just the business people are looking back, they've got their monopoly board out or whatever you want to call it, and they're just moving the little pieces around and saying, hey, we need to make cuts. And I know that Xbox saw 9% cuts and PlayStation's seeing 8% across their main studios right now. So it just kind of screams the overlords saying, hey, let's make we need to cut about 10%. Let's try and just cut 8%. And any way you slice it, PlayStation and Xbox and other industries are not doing really well, and the profit margins are razor thin right now. And so we're going to continue to see, I think we're going to see even more layoffs from Microsoft and Xbox and other platforms as we go on. Yeah, it sucks. Really sucks. And people are making jokes about it. Like people are saying, "Hey, it's my time to take digs at PlayStation." And I was in some of those discussions and trying to keep it fairly respectful, because these are the people that lost their jobs that make the games that we get to enjoy. And I'll never forget that devs, that's what they're there for. They're there to get a paycheck, but they also make it possible for us to play these games that we enjoy. That's how I feel. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you. That was TED Talk by Colt Tedwood. So, why do they call it TED Talk? Who was Ted? What was he talking about?
Probably stands for something.
Okay.
The
Chat, let me know.
education something.
Yeah, the education diorama or something. Or
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and so and to
Dysphoria.
touch on what you were saying, like we just saw the big acquisition. Yep, here we go. The big acquisition of ABK. And I think I was listening to your show last night, Colt, and Mag was saying, like, just because they spent that much money, that doesn't mean that money didn't account for payroll at the very least. You know what I mean? That's not talking about keeping the lights on and all that kind of stuff. And that sort of was really insightful, because that's something I didn't think about. It's really true. I'm sorry, Lotus, but so they buy a big company. Or sorry, they acquire all these studios, and then everyone's like peeing themselves and thinking, are they going to be able to afford to pay us? Microsoft has to show that they can sustain a company with that many people and be profitable at the same time. So those two things go hand in hand from what I've seen, which is really, that's what I've seen. I have just seen that, and that's why I'm asking you guys. Because I don't want to talk out of my ass, Holly. Tell me how you feel about these layoffs and whatnot. Games are getting way more expensive to make, which is a big part of it. It's harder. It's harder to make. And as far as the layoffs go, how do you feel? What's your thoughts on what's happening here? It's sort of becoming so normal now, which is sad.
I don't know that it's normal, because I think
Frequent.
every time we see it, yeah, frequent. Yes, that's a better word. Normal implies that we're all okay with it and used to it, right? It's been normalized. It's not. It super sucks because, there's a lot of good people with a lot of very good talent that just wind up losing their job for no other reason except that the company doesn't feel like it has enough money to move forward with them on staff, not because they lost their job for any of their own particular reasons, anything like that. The economy is very weird right now on the whole, which doesn't help, and the gaming industry is in a particularly interesting position at this point as well. So I feel like both of those are playing off of each other. It would be a really interesting time for some of these devs to maybe start some of these smaller studios, kind of like Jepsen did with, I don't remember the name, the ones that did Cocoon. They came out of Playdead for Inside, and like small devs do brilliant work. We know that, right? They just need their moment to shine, and that's where it's really difficult to not have like a mega corp like an EA or Capcom or whatever, right, to promote your game and do well. But we're seeing this like infusion of really cool AA games right now, and I think that's a good sign for where it could go, and maybe the big boys are starting to take some cues from some of that too, right? And where they're going, not just because they're doing well, but because they have to. I think there's a big shift in stuff that's coming. But again, right, like it's a lot like the regular economy, or a lot like the government economy versus the public or free market economy, is that it always hits in waves after the economic issues have come, right? So when it hits the private sector, it takes about 2 years for those economic downfalls to actually start to hit the government sector. So, who knows like how far we're out and what was the trigger for some of this stuff to actually start happening. I mean, we know, but Like where it's going to stop, not quite sure yet.
I see what you're saying. Okay, and thank you for explaining that, because yeah, look, we're all learning. Right, because that would make sense. It's not like, oh, look at this big whoopsie that they did, and it's like, is it a little whoopsie or is it a big whoopsie? Let's find out in the few years how that actually impacted. Then you can look at it as a whole and cast a wider net and say, look at all these whoopsies. Put all these whoopsies into one little basket. That makes more sense.
And not to pick
me.
on PlayStation, but that's exactly what we are or aren't going to see too, right? With their pivot towards all these gas games and less single player, right? Like,
right.
What is the cyclical implications of that on the whole?
Right. And so that ties right into the live service thing. So keep me honest. Give me honest. Wasn't it Jim Ryan that said that? I mean, that they were gearing towards live service games, right? He said a lot of things, so who knows if it was just him. But that's where they were wanting to go, to sort of have like a more well-rounded catalog of games instead of having these really expensive cinematic experiences. So they had all these live service games in the pipeline. Last of Us Factions canceled, and this Twisted Metal game that was rumored a while ago, that was in really early development from what I've seen, from what I've heard, that's canceled now too. Another live service game. The good thing is that they have a really, really successful live service game in Helldivers. But I haven't checked the numbers recently, but it looks like even though that's still a first-party game, it seems to be doing much better on PC than it is on PlayStation. It is doing well on PlayStation. I'm not saying it's doing bad, but I think that is telltale sign of what's to come with the third-party stuff and the live service stuff. So they're like, oh, if you're going to release...
Helldivers is doing really well for what is typically the attach rate for exclusives on PlayStation. So there was a report that claimed that, 20 times more people were playing on Steam. I don't think that's true. That doesn't seem right. But the reports are that it's doing really well on PlayStation. It's really killing it on Steam. And then people are like, well, what if they bring Helldivers to Xbox? Like, it'd be even better. I'm like, well, that's the point of, you could put everything on everything and it'll always do better if you put games everywhere. I imagine if you don't have to. I mean, imagine if, what's it called? Mario Kart 6 was multi-platform. It would sell even more. But whatever. It's doing great. But it's a AA game, and I think the moniker of an indie versus AAA needs to stop becoming a bragging right in the games industry, because I think the games industry looks at AAA as a no-no right now, for the most part.
Right. It's scary. Like, and Holly, you touched on, like, before I forget, I think that these AA studios are sort of like the future of, not like the future, but what we can really be excited about and look forward to more, because as far as knowing the background and like the behind the scenes stuff about development and how scary it is for developers, and how they spend all this time and money and effort into something that they're really passionate about, and they are having a great time. They're loving what they're doing. They're so proud of what they're doing. And at any moment, that hammer could come down from the higher ups and just, you're done. With AA games and indie games, it's different because they're smaller and sometimes they're self-published, but they have more control. But the passion is there, and we see all these AA. I mean, again, Pal World being one of the bigger examples right now. You don't need to put $1 billion into something to make it look like The Last of Us or whatever. You know what I mean? To be successful. A good example recently that everyone needs to play this. Grey Monad, shout out to you. If anyone isn't playing Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden right now, you need to be playing that game. And that's from Don't Nod, published by Focus Home Entertainment. They did Vampire, and of course Don't Nod did Life is Strange and all that. That game is amazing. I mean, for a AA game, it's so hard to even call these great looking AA games AA anymore. It's like, what does that even mean? So anyway, as far as the future goes for live service games, Holly, what do you take away from these Last of Us Factions canceled? Twisted Metal canceled. You know, what's happening, man?
I don't know. I mean, Last of Us Factions being canceled at this point really wasn't a surprise. It had been around or not been around for so long, right? Yeah. And then when you heard that Bungie came in to do a review, you're like, "Ooh, that's not good."
Right.
If you have to have somebody else come in and do a massive QA/QC on your project, you're probably not in the finishing touches. You're probably in the hurt locker. And that's what happened. I cannot believe they spent that many years and that much effort on it only to cancel it completely. That's wild. Twisted Metal is really a surprise that they canceled that too, because the TV show came out last year with Anthony Mackie, and it was it was engaging enough, it was entertaining enough, and I thought that was really their foray into growing an audience that hadn't been around for the Twisted Metal games in the way back, right? And especially Anthony Mackie, like, he's a big draw, it's a big name, and then to just kind of drop it. Something goofy's going on there too. That one was, I guess, more surprising to me than Factions, but I do think Sony's got some bugs under the hood, and I don't know. I think they're really in a panic trying to figure it out. I don't know, Colt, if you think that Bungie is the right group to come in and help all these other studios under their arm to. I think that's the thought, but
I mean, Destiny 1 and 2 are really successful and they made a lot of money. So weird. The Destiny games are not rated higher than the Halo games. I think they know what to do when it comes to live service, to see them stomp down Factions and possibly other games that are being in the works. I think they said something about Helldivers. I didn't really understand that report when Helldivers was coming out, that they talked to Arrowhead about their game and about their live service plan.
Yeah, wasn't that to stay out of each other's way though?
I think it might have been. Yeah. Of course, they're going to put out Marathon, and hopefully that's going to be really great. But Bethesda kind of has their own internal problems as well. I mean, I hate to say that because it seems like every studio has their own issues. Yeah. We hear about them constantly. So I'll just say PlayStation brought Bungie on with the understanding that they would remain multi-platform, but they brought them on and paid the money for them as a liaison for online service-based games. So I think they want to listen to what Bungie has to say, and hopefully they're steering in the right direction. And if they did with Helldivers, it worked. So that's how I feel about that. That's all I have to say about that.
And what was it you said the other day that killed me? Ice cream.
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
That's so good. That's what that's what Sony right now is doing with Bungie. Just yelling.
Bungie's having issues though. Like that report of when people went to go play Marathon, that did not come out very well for them. I don't think. I think they're kind of back to.
I didn't hear about that. People tried out Marathon.
They had a lot of people
I heard the same thing.
And test. Yeah, they had a group of gamers come and testers, right, including somebody we know, went and tested the game behind closed doors. And they asked a panel, and the streamers and stuff like that, right? And they asked them, if this game came out tomorrow, would you play this on stream? Right. And 0 people raised their hand, is what I heard, right?
Right, right now. Marathon reportedly flopped amongst playtesters amid Bungie chaos.
That's right, yeah. And so now they're reworking the whole thing. So wasn't it supposed to be like a
I think it's because it's first-person shooter and everybody barfed when they played it, you know? They were so nauseated because they're used to third-person shooters.
Oh, is that what it was? Is that what it was called?
They're like, I
God.
would not, like when the Mandalorian game, first person, but I don't know how to control it.
I know that was me. That was me. I remember when all these YouTubers, which a lot of them are shut down. A lot of them are shut down right now. The Mad Queen show after Cyberpunk came out, everyone was so excited about Cyberpunk, and then when they found out that it was first person, they were like, I played the game and I got so sick. I was like, yeah.
I was like,
Yeah. A lot of the people were talking about that. I'm like, so you went your whole life without throwing up? Then anyway, so wasn't Marathon supposed to be like Escape from Tarkov, right? It was like a extraction shooter, right?
But that slow? Or was
That-
it like fast paced?
That's all I think that's what people were comparing it to. Like it was an extraction shooter, not like a battle royale.
Tarkov
It
is
was like-
wildly popular.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think Tarkov has a special formula, right? That it's
And
Tarkov. It's hard to emulate.
And it's really grounded. And I would assume with Marathon, I don't know a whole lot about Marathon, but I've seen like a lot of its art. But knowing Bungie, they probably went with this really stylized, very Apex-esque type feel
They did.
for it.
Yep.
And that was just, people were like, bro, I don't know who
That
you think I
and
am.
Tarkov?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Dude.
Like, if Apex is stylized in a way where it has enough charm to it, where people were like, all right, like, this is feels really good as a shooter. And then the characters are, it's like Overwatch. Kind of like how Apex feels. What the hell are we talking about? I don't know. Shout out to 17 people. I don't know how many people are. Thank you so much to the new subscribers. I don't know who's here and who did that, but thank you for doing that. Really, really appreciate you. So Yadani says, Yadani Kazada says, I am as surprised as you are that a bunch of, hang on. Bunch of fat and no deodorant wearing FPS basement dwellers showed up to participate in a marathon. I love it.
Did he really?
I love it. He really said that.
Yodani has the best chats.
Oh,
He
there it
does.
is,
Oh,
yep.
and I'm so sorry, Yodani. I almost missed your super chat. Thank you so much, bro. I almost completely forgot. I had it saved up here. Yodani, thank you so much, bro, for the $5. I gotta do that. Boom's gonna find me. Doom's gonna find me.
Boom Eternal.
Boom Eternal, exactly. Yadani says, $5 super chat. Is this one of those space thingies where we yell and use words like cap and clout chaser? Is there a market for that? I have a loud, shrilly yell. Love that.
Yeah,
what the hell are we
this is
talking
this
about?
place where you hold a space for 3 hours with 4 people listening.
Oh,
And you just yell and you just yell and yell and kick people off over and over.
I'm gonna beep your cat. I'm gonna beep your dog. I'm gonna beep your hamster. You better
hide
believe.
your wives and hide your husbands.
Exactly. Beep, beep, beep,
He's
beep.
out here just claiming to like just assault everybody. Okay, all right. You do you, bro. You do you.
Assault for everyone. Anyway, see y'all next week. Thanks. Like and subscribe. Anyway, Twitter is a hell zone.
I know. I think you started the show with me going, I mute all my threads now.
Right, exactly. It's like, how do you survive?
It's tough out
anyway.
there in these Twitter streets lately.
It apparently is. The desperation is hot. Anyway, so yeah, with PlayStation, so what I was saying is that Helldivers, maybe what they can take from Helldivers as far as live service games, they can learn from that, because I mean, we played it. I had a really great time. I was having audio issues, but that has nothing to do with the game. That is just me. So I was a little
Oh yeah, we played on
discombobulated.
Thursday.
We did. Yeah, it was it was chaos, and it's so fun. I mean, it's just so stupid fun, and we're running around talking about democracy and freedom, and like even whenever we failed, like it was just like whatever. It was just so good. So hopefully they can take from that and just make something, because games don't need to be these super big, like we were talking about. They don't need to be these giant, super expensive cinematic experience. They just need to be fun. They just need to capture your imagination, like Willy Wonka said. Anyway, Yodani. Oh, sorry, Yodani's talking about Boom. Yeah, go check out Boomstick. He does a podcast at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every single day forever. You can't miss him. he's
he
great,
walks by with
seriously.
like a plate of eggs. Oh yeah, we're still live.
Exactly. It's like, honey, get the dogs. Anyway. Oh,
and
man.
his legs were blown clear.
So Cole keeps saying his legs were blown clear. So I won't go into detail about my job, but I will say that I was on the phone with a lady who was needing some assistance with some things, and I just was trying to get her to tell me what she needed. That's all I needed. Ma'am, can you tell me exactly what you need?
Calgon.
Here, I'll be you.
Well-
ma'am, what can we help you with? What can we get for you?
Well, it's funny. I'm glad you are. There's not a lot of nice people like you. And back up here where we live, we're up in the woods, and there's 15 of us in a family, and I turn 78 next week. And it's
congrats.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, Sonny. I appreciate you. I don't know why I'm starting to sound like a old...
What can we?
Do you have a grandson?
What can we get for you?
named
What can we
Stewie?
help you with?
Oh, my grandson, Stewie. Well, speaking of what you can help me with, it's my birthday.
baby powder on the bit of his bum
every day
to keep it. Go ahead. What
There's a
do you
bit
need,
of
ma'am?
butter on the bum. Just trying to find...
take a stick of butter. Just put the stick of butter right on the rear end, and it keeps it supple, and there's no diaper rash. It's just a bit of butter.
That's right, and we just try to keep our baby's bums nice and buttery for whatever happens, whatever happens out here in the
So
woods.
the lady. So the lady.
Yeah, that's right. So the lady. So
All of
I'm
us here walk around with one stick of butter.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm just trying
And
to
a
tell.
roasting pan.
She's telling me that it's her birthday. She's telling me that that she lives out in the woods and that there's 15 people in her family. And I was like, well, happy early birthday. And she said, oh, it's just, we only used to get a cake for our birthday. It's all we could afford because there's a birthday every week, it feels like, because there's 15 of us. And I'm like, okay, well, can you tell me what you fucking need? Because I can't give you a birthday cake. For fuck's sake, happy birthday. That's all I can do. And so she just went on and on and on. And so Colt calls me right as I'm getting off the phone with this lady, and we talk.
I told you to hang up on her.
Right. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm losing you. And I just break the phone in half.
I'm going through a tunnel right now.
I can tell you're in the bathroom.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's fantastic. So we were making fun of the old lady talking about.
And did I tell you in 1745 my fourth husband had his legs blown clear?
And I was like,
In World War II, it was 1745.
oh,
The
man.
mongrels. I don't know what the war was back then. I don't
The
know my
mongrel,
history.
the war of the mongrels, right?
Yeah.
World War M, worldwide mongrel.
Was there
Anyway.
a point to this?
No,
Nope.
there isn't.
Nope, that was it.
The lady, there was no end of the. Okay.
No, because Colt kept saying "blown clear," and I was like, "Let me give some background to what blown clear is." That was all. She just kept telling me about her life and how wonderful I was, and I kept telling her happy birthday, and she kept telling me about cake, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, man, cake's cool." So, anyway, oh man. Let's see, anyone in chat? Yadani. Oh, you guys are just chatting. Okay. Yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and dealing with all the nonsense. We're just having fun. I think we're past all the serious talk. Anything else going on? Colt, anything else going on, man, in the world of...
The world of gaming. Playground Games is hiring every day. So hopefully devs that are losing work can find work at other studios. So what's going on? Like I kind of ran into this yesterday when I had my show. A lot of the discussion that we've been looking at has been these 4 games that are coming to PlayStation and Switch, and only one of them's out, and that's Pentiment. So the news of the day is, if you play Pentiment on PS5, you get the superior version that runs at 120 FPS on your PS5, and it'll be patched later on Xbox because you know what? We're second-class citizens. Now it's a bug, and people were using that to console war, even though it's a 2D game with absolutely no camera movement really at all. And
I was gonna say you can't miss a single text with that 120 frames.
I don't know how you could. I mean, when I play Mass Effect Trilogy back and forth between the 120 and the 60 mode, like you have to switch it and move the camera really fast to notice it, and I can tell. But yeah, they're both fantastic modes. We'll see. That's Pentiment. There's really isn't much to say other than there is a discussion, guys, about how well games like Sea of Thieves and Grounded will do on PlayStation. Like Hi-Fi Rush will do great on PlayStation 5, right? There's not really a whole discussion there, but like Sea of Thieves is 6 years old. Is there going to be like a small reemergence? Is there going to be people who get back on PC because a bunch of PlayStation people start playing the game? Everyone's like, oh man, everyone's kind of talking about it a little bit, and like everybody gets on there. Like that could be a cool thing to see happen.
Every post I saw about these games coming to PlayStation, all of them were about Sea of Thieves. I didn't hardly see anybody talking about Hi-Fi Rush or Grounded or Pentiment besides the frames. But like the ones that were like, yo, Sea of Thieves, that's it. That's what I want. Let's do it. Right? I was really surprised to see how much that one just skyrocketed forward.
And I think what I was going to say is that doesn't surprise me at all because it's really established, and it's still, even if it's in this like it's been out for so long, people know about it, and if you know that you can't play it, eventually you're like, well, whatever, I'm not going to care about it. Even if you're not someone that's like actively hating something, it's established and it's in the mind share to some extent. It's not like out there, like I'm not seeing clips of Sea of Thieves all the time, but you know what it is because it's been out there for so long. So
I think people wanted that kind of game. People wanted like a fun pirate game, right? And I think they wanted Skull and Bones to be that, but Skull and Bones is just not scratching that itch. So it's a really interesting time to release Skull and Bones full price with Sea of Thieves dropping like 2 months later.
That's so funny. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I did not even think about that. Dull and Bones, right alongside Sea of Peeves. I was trying to make a PlayStation joke. I can't. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me. If I couldn't play Sea of Thieves for 6 years, and then all of a sudden it came to Xbox after being on PlayStation, I would be excited to jump in and try it because I know all about it essentially from years of hearing about it, I guess. But that's good, and good for them. Good for Rare for doing a good live service game. Remember when it first came out? I don't know if you guys played it when it first came out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was
I enjoyed the open beta more than I enjoyed the final game, which happens sometimes. But we were all like, "Oh, there's gonna be so much more on the final build when it comes out." This is just like what they have at this time, and then we totally got kind of schooled on that one, and had some good laughs, some really good memories of my time playing it in the alpha. Just before it launched. And then I didn't really mess with it, and it took a reemergence somewhere around like 2020, maybe?
I think it was 2020.
Like around the time it got the 60 frames update on the new console.
And the Pirates of the Caribbean expansion, right? Like that helped a lot.
That did too, yeah.
You pronounce it the way I do when I make fun of those movies. Hey, have you seen the Pirates of the Caribbean? And they're like, it's Caribbean. I'm like, no, I like to call it because Caribbean just sounds less cool. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Caribbean.
There's a difference.
It's like Corinthian.
Yeah. How do you say it when you talk about the movies? You say Pirates of the Caribbean?
I do.
Or Pirates of the Caribbean? Because I think Caribbean sounds lame.
It's funny. I only say Caribbean when I say Pirates of the Caribbean, but when I say Caribbean, that's so weird.
Hey, we're gonna say we're gonna go to the Caribbeans.
You dummy.
So,
well, you say Caribbean Cruise Lines, don't you? Not Caribbean. No, Caribbean.
I dated a man for
Jack Sparrow
many years from the Caribbean, and they say Caribbean.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there you go. There, it's settled. It's settled.
Was he a pirate?
That's what I was gonna say. Was it Jack Sparrow?
In many
he have
ways,
a
he
hook?
was.
Okay.
He's like, "Har."
That's all I'll say about that.
Okay, I don't even.
I don't know enough.
My mind is
pirate-
going so many different directions right now.
I don't know enough like pirate lingo to even make any good, decent jokes right now.
He just Har. That was it. That's all I got. That's all I got.
And I don't know
That's right.
anything about the Caribbean to even make it. You know what? I'm not going to. Probably gonna offend.
They have lots of
offend myself.
fruit. From what I understand.
Do you want to hear my favorite, most epic joke of all time?
Yes.
Okay.
What be a pirate's favorite letter?
Is it R?
Ye think it'd be R, but 'tis the sea he loves.
My favorite one is the pirate's belt buckle. One.
Oh my god.
You know that one?
No?
No. What's the? Tell us, please.
It's,
Didn't even
like
laugh. He's
it's
like,
like it's something about why does a pirate have a he has a steering wheel on his belt buckle? R, it'd be driving me nuts. Okay, cut the show.
That's it. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you guys next. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my god, Idani kills me with both. I love that. How do you guys like? So I say home, but I think
Udani said, did he have 2 legs?
Did he have 2 legs? Oh.
Did you know that
I
pirates actually, like the historians, like there were like no, like peg leg
Peg leg?
pirates. Like it was all like,
Disney?
I don't know, sensationalized.
it's so
like
Disney.
It's
so
so
Disney,
Disney,
yeah.
right? Exactly.
Like I think there was no famous pirate that had a hook for a hand or anything. I don't know where that all comes from, but kind of funny.
How would they make that work? You gotta like strap it to your shoulder, and it's gonna go like across your waist just to get a ding dang hook on your arm. Come on, no one wants
No, you
that.
just
You screw it on
screws
like a right. Exactly. Lotus says bye. Got a DMC takedown from Disney. Who did?
Disney.
you
Oh,
did
just
they
now,
just
you
shut your
mean.
stream down.
Just
Disney's
now.
like no.
By the way, I have
no
this thing
Pirates
on my
of the
neck.
Caribbean.
I'm gonna peel my skin off now. So I fucked my neck up by sleeping, and I have one of those patches on right now. This hurts really bad.
Oh,
Icy
what?
hot?
Yeah, it's one of those icy hot things, and
You got some
Help a little
Bengay
bit.
on there?
Bengay.
Warmed up, right?
It was really hot, and I was like, I'm cold and hot. I'm burning at the same and freezing at the same time. So I had to like put on my jacket, and that's why I had to take it off. I was like, that was all an illusion.
That's how you know how old you're getting when you're like, what happened to your neck? Bungee jumping? Sleeping.
Sleeping.
It's when you keep the tiger balm next to your pillow.
Right, exactly. Oh my god. I remember I was like 9 years
Balm is the
old.
Best.
I was 9 years old, and my mom was dating this guy, and he was like, yeah, so Tiger Balm is the essential thing that you want to use for muscles, or whatever. And she's like, I don't care, I love you. And here's my 9-year-old son, let me use it on him. It wrecked my skin so bad. I'm running around like, yeah! Oh, man, it was so bad.
I picture your mom's boyfriend as the bad guy from Terry Silver from Karate Kid 3.
Dude, he had a ponytail. I'm not even kidding. He did. Oh my god. He had
He's
a
like-
ponytail. Right, exactly. He's
me get
like,
some
let me
Tiger
show
Balm
you
here."
how to. Exactly. He's like, come over here, son. Let me show you how to fight. Kicks me in the head. I'm a 9-year-old little. Oh my god, it's so great. It's so great.
Terry
He did karate too. He or taekwondo or whatever.
Oh
the
my
hell
gosh.
it was, and he ran a
How could
newspaper
I know
company.
that?
He was karate dude with a ponytail, and he ran a newspaper company. That's what I'll
Do
say.
you have a black belt?
I don't know. He had it. I don't know. He just beat me up all the time. No, I'm just kidding. That's terrible. That's funny. That's not funny. Assassin is here. No one on PlayStation will care about Sea of Thieves. Microsoft sending a game out to die twice is an absolute accomplishment. Only they could pull off. What do you think about that, Holly?
Hut.
Okay.
That's,
okay.
that's
Like a
incorrect.
Assassin. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
That's incorrect.
Assassin
Oh,
says,
no one on
no one on
PlayStation.
PlayStation. Yeah.
Oh no, I don't think so. I think if any of those games, a Sea of Thieves is going to do the best.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yadani says, "Hey, Assassin, staying away from those hot, horny singles in your local area, right? You gosh darn home wrecker." That's right. That's right.
A mailman joke.
Oh my God. ADM, thanks for jumping in here. You're new. I've never seen you before. Hit the like button, man. Or whatever. I'm sorry. Imagine training Bushido only to get KO'd by an old lady's pepper spray. Oh my God. True. Did you guys see this video of all the high school students getting pepper sprayed?
No?
Oh,
So-
I did. Yes.
Yeah, so
They volunteered.
they volunteered. So these high school kids, they volunteered to be pepper sprayed. And what the law enforcement is saying is that this will teach kids, this is a possible thing that will happen to you when you get in trouble by the law. And I'm like, I don't know. It's not like you're under arrest, but you know, it was kind of fun to watch. I mean, honestly, it was kind of, I was like, it's funny, but it's like, I don't know why I'm laughing at this. But they did it. And a lot of them were like laughing, screaming. They were like, anyway, so that happened. I don't
So
know
they
if
can
you guys-
understand what it feels like to be pepper sprayed?
Right, so that way it's like whenever
They
they
sprayed
have
them.
the idea, they didn't go up and like, they just literally went up and went right in their face,
But
right? Each
the
one of them.
kids did not hold their hands. They had to hold their hands down.
That's
So it was
right.
Like, yeah. And
Are
the
you looking
parents
this up,
signed off
Cole?
on it and everything.
No, I'm not. No,
Okay.
I'm not.
It's not. I am being hyperbolic about it, but yeah. Anyway, it's interesting, but it was picked up by CNN, and I was like, yikes. Anyway, so great. Lotus Esprit says played Outcast New Beginning demo. It is okay. Outcast New Beginning. Outcast. Why is that? No,
The
not
scary
not-
game.
No, that's
No,
Outlast.
that's Outlast.
That's
I know.
why.
Same thing.
That it's just, whatever. It's the same thing.
I don't want to be wrong.
What's the?
Outcast. I don't know what game that is.
I don't know what that is. Isn't Outcast like a reboot of an older game from back in the day?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it looks cool.
Is it like it's like a third person space game? Kind of like exploration? Not a space game, but like you're
Yeah,
exploring
it's,
an alien
Kind of like
planet.
Avatar.
It's on
Right.
Xbox and PlayStation and everything.
That's what I thought.
When is it coming
Okay.
out, Lotus?
Is it it's a free demo right now?
Yeah, it says there's a demo. Okay.
That's a go look.
That's
on the
fantastic.
Xbox.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. Is anyone? Oh, that was you. Is anyone getting Outlast
Trials,
Yes. I mean, we are
We
getting
are.
it.
right?
I cannot wait to play that. I'm so excited.
Anybody wants to
Outlast-
play with this? Put it in the chat.
Let us know because, dude, there's not
nice.
enough co-op like horror games out there. Like, Lethal Company, if that's anything, man, that game is just so good.
It's so good.
The game is so good. There's just not enough games that are co-op that are actually like scary, and Outlast is one of those. Is like one of the scariest games, if not like the scariest game I've ever played. So I can't wait to play that. 4-player
Lethal
co-op.
Company isn't scary. It's just suspenseful.
It's very suspenseful, right? It's very.
Except
It's not
for when I scream bloody murder at those eyeballs and
the eyeballs. Oh my god, I felt so bad. It was like a genuine. I was like, that came out of Holly. It was like a genuine like horror movie lady scream, like blood curdling.
I hate those.
I hate it.
They're
It's like
the-
kicker. No.
yeah.
I felt so bad because it was so genuine. We were all dead watching her scream. It was great. Yadani says, I love Red's. Oh, my little. I'm sorry. Yeah, I always had to throw that in there as like a caveat for all this shit that I say. Yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're just sort of going on, just tangents and just hanging out, being free. You know what I mean? And if you're new here, leave a like at least and a sub at the most, baby. That'd be dope. Yeah. Holly, what else is going on in the world of things?
There's mean fanboys, but that is every day, all day.
Man, love it.
There's the silly little gaff with Dustin and Colt with
Oh yeah.
the Death Stranding. That's
Oh,
a
right,
fun
right,
one.
right. You know what? We never talk about social media on here, but you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Bring it
Language.
on. Let's. Sorry. F it. F it all to heck.
There you go. There you go.
There we go. Nerds and other legends. What's up, bro? Good to see you here. He says, was Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 5 co-op, or am I misremembering? No, it was. It was. But it's like, it's still called Resident Evil. Sorry, 5 was 5 was co-op. 0 was not co-op, but you played as two different people that you would like switch between them at any time. But RE5 was. Remember that you start off on the train? Yeah. What were you gonna say?
RE5 was bad.
RE5 was bad.
RE5 was bad.
Yeah.
There's some supposedly unannounced Capcom game still coming this year, right?
Oh, isn't that the
No, not the one, the Xbox one. There's supposedly one that was unannounced yet still, right? That was not Dragon's Dogma 2. That was already announced.
I'm thinking of Odyssey. That was EA. Wasn't that EA? That one got canceled.
You just said Resident Evil and it made me go, Resident Evil?
And Capcom? Right.
It's like a dinner
Gosh, they have
bell. Resident
another
Evil? Like,
Another Capcom's on fire though.
they can't miss right now. I wish it was freaking Dead Rising. I miss Dead Rising.
Yes, I do too. You're a
love
fan?
that series. I am a super fan of that series, man. I spent so many hours in 4. I loved 4. I know a lot of people are kind of mixed on it, but it was so good. It's just
4 was so funny because you're going through the mall at Christmas time with all the Christmas music, and it's got, oh gosh, it's so great. It's got that like 50s and 60s Christmas vibe, and it takes place you're in like the Clackamas Mall in Oregon. You're in like Portland area. That's what it's supposed to be. It drives me crazy. They call it Willamette. They say Willamette this, Willamette that. It's like it's Willamette. If you're from the Northwest, you know it's Willamette is how you say it, and they call it Willamette, Willamette, Willamette. And I'm like, quit saying Willamette. If you're local, you know about those.
Is it a UFC fighter? Will Ahmed?
No, Will Ahmed.
Oh,
Will Arnett.
Well, that's who it was. The voice actor of the Batman. He's got a great voice.
I was playing Helldivers the other night. I'm like, I know this voice. My character's voice. And then I'm like, I think it's Yuri Urenthal from Spider-Man. I looked it up on IMDb, and sure enough, he's like, wow, for freedom, swing. The way he talks.
Okay, gotcha.
Peter Parker.
Very iconic, right? Yeah.
Yeah, very. Like it's like if a 17-year-old was, was a gruff military guy. Yeah.
Right.
It works, I guess.
I think that's who I am. In Helldivers.
Yeah, Dead Rising would be great. It would be great. I don't know. Maybe Capcom has another new Monster Hunter thing. Hopefully, I mean, it's probably another Resident Evil thing.
I wish they would
kids
at
seem
least,
to like that.
at a minimum, remake some of those old Dead Risings. That'd be cool. That'd be cute. I'd buy it.
Yeah, the did they didn't do away with the timer for 4, did they? I played it recently. Is the timer gone for 4?
Yeah, there's no timer on Resident Evil 4. Or
That's right.
Dead Rising.
Dead
Rising 4.
Right. That was something that
kind of
people
ruined
really
my
liked.
Dead Rising 3 experience because I was trying to go for 100% and I just couldn't do it.
That's
I couldn't
where you
finish
play
it.
as the biker looking dude with the jacket, the sleeveless jacket.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mechanic
I didn't like
guy.
that one so much.
It's
That's right.
It's also super ugly to this day. It's a really nasty looking
Has like a brown filter.
Dead Rising game. Really, really brown, really desaturated, really, really chunky. It's like sub 720 or just above 720p. It just looks really bad, but Dead Rising 4 is like 1800p and it's a lot cleaner. But yeah, I got like a D at the end of Resident Evil 3 or Dead Rising 3, and I did just about everything in the game, and I just couldn't get that high score because the time ran out and it nuked the city. Stupid.
I remember in Dead Rising 1, if you go out at a certain point, if you go out too early in the game when the time's running out, into the center of the mall where those crazy dudes they're driving this car around. I don't know if you guys remember this. They're driving this car around outside. But if you go out there too early, they'll just run you over. So you got to like wait or try to kill them while they're out there. And it was like impossible. I just wanted to punch myself in the nuts or whatever. Yeah, it was great. It was a good time. Lotus Esprit says, "Wake up, damn it!" So, Lotus Esprit says, by the way, the new Game Pass TV is 120 hertz and 120 FPS. Is that Samsung TV that they're talking about?
That's the only one they don't have any partnerships with others yet, right? Aren't they working on an LG one?
That's awesome.
I think so. They haven't announced anything, but I think they said they're not just working with Samsung, if I remember right.
Would you guys ever be interested in getting one of those TVs just to have it, just to see how that works? Okay, so and how does it work, right? This is cloud, right? So you're streaming your Game Pass games.
It's
okay.
Internet, yeah.
Lotus, I'm interested to know what your internet is and how that works. Because I know some people, like Fonz was saying that before he got a 4090, he was saying that his cloud gaming experience was really good, but he has really good internet, right?
Yes, he has fiber, yeah. I'm going to look see if mine's plugged in.
He just pulls over a TV and just shows it. I would be interested just to like have one to like take, like whenever I travel. I know that sounds weird. Not like a 65-inch TV, but like, a little 30-inch TV that has just. Yeah.
Well, you just
It'd
need
be better if that
then.
was. Need that thumb drive thing.
That's
if
right.
They make a dongle or whatever.
That's right. 2.5 gig internet. They said, okay, gotcha.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something.
Lotus says, I think mine is LG on the hush. Like, what did you? When I said that, my TV's like, what do you want? When I said the letters
master?
L and G. Yeah, what do you want?
Speaking of Master, okay, I have a confession to make. Speaking of Master, okay. So, I watched the Halo TV show, episode 1.
Same.
On the first day that it came out, okay? Now,
No.
I'm a big Halo fan, okay? Okay, I'm a huge, I love Halo. I watched the first episode, and I really feel like I was bandwagoning. And honestly, I don't like that Master Chief has his helmet off all the time. I still don't like that. But I didn't give it a chance. I didn't let the story flow. I just didn't care. I was like, I'm so mad because it's not what I want it to be. So everyone's been raving about season 2 of Halo being so good. And I was like, all right. So I jumped back on Paramount Plus. And I went through season 1, and I was like, this is actually really good. And I sort of just turned my brain off and just was like, let me just live in this Halo experience.
Season 1?
Season 1, yeah.
You cannot say that. No.
Hang on. Let me explain why. Though, like, because I read like Fall of Reach whenever I was younger. Like I read a few of the books and stuff. So I know the lore. I know what's supposed to be and what's not supposed to be. And season 1, like when it ended, I was like, okay, I can see that this is going somewhere. But I wasn't like, wow, this is really, really good. It's just that I was like, this is better than I thought that it was going to be. People are complaining about Master Chief being naked and effing things, right? I totally agree with that. But so far, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. In season, I'm on episode 4, season 2 now, which is like I'm all caught up, I guess. It's pretty good, guys. Okay, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna sit here and say you're wrong. I agree with the people that with the Master Chief having his helmet on and running around without his armor on is really weird. But I had a perspective thrown at me that I never thought about. Master Chief, in the games, he's taking his helmet off all the fucking time, okay? All the time. But we never see it. People are seeing Master Chief with his helmet off all the time. And then the camera pans and he puts it back on. They're like, all right, Chief, go out there and get him. Nice ass, by the way. And he's like, thanks. So it's like to the rest of the audience, like we're not privy, we're not seeing Master Chief in the video games take his helmet off, but everyone else is. So now watching the TV show, I had a different perspective watching it, saying people are used to seeing Master Chief without his helmet on. Anyway, I just said all that to say show's pretty good. Show's pretty good. That's all. That's all.
Let me just drive around this parking lot for a minute and come back and say, hey.
Hey, I'm
All
back.
right. I'm back.
That was it. Did you guys? Did you try it, Colt?
My son and I watched episode 1, season 2. I haven't seen a second of the first season. I thought, why should I? I mean, nobody's really told me I need to watch it. There's been a couple people, it's amazing, but like most people said it wasn't. It was okay. Like the opening part of the first episode, like the combat, like everything's on point, the tone, and then you go into a building and two characters start talking. And I'm like,
right.
So, but I'm sure it gets better.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and the guy that plays Special Nick that plays Master Chief,
right,
I can't get over
era.
that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I can't get over it.
I cannot either, dude. I'm like, Nick, you're doing great, man. Nice ass. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. He should have never said anything, and I would have never put that together. Anyway.
But I don't know. It's it's kind of interesting that some things are handled really well from 343, and I want them to kind of pull that back into their games. But not everything on the show I've heard is on point. But like when I saw the Covenant ships, like the Banshees taking off, and the way the elites look and their weapons, like it all looks really cool. It's like I can't believe it took like 15 years to get here, because I remember in 2010 Neil Blomkamp was, I probably said his name badly.
Yeah.
Neil Blomkamp.
I think
was supposed to-
Blandcamp.
I don't know how to say his
That doesn't
name.
sound
He's
right either.
amazing.
Sorry.
District 9 director. He's incredibly talented. And he was just starting to work on the Halo movie, and it completely got shelved. I can't remember who he was working with. Was he going to work with Peter Jackson on that, or was it just Neil? But anyway, no Halo thing ever came out. He did the trailer for Halo Reach, which was amazing. And it took us this long to finally get a Halo TV show. And I think 343 is like, oh man, this is so great. Like it's picking back up. We had to fire some people. Now we're seeing the success. I'm like, I want them to pull all of that energy and just do Halo games right. I like
Right.
Infinite though. But
I'm getting into it soon because I've been waiting. And I'm just like,
have you played the campaign?
I started to, and once I got outside and did that first little outpost mission, I was like, this is 4-player co-op. I am not playing this game alone. Like, I don't want to
played
miss
it
out on that
alone.
experience.
Halo
Yeah, we need to
Infinite?
play it. We need to play it.
Halo Infinite.
What's it?
I
Yeah.
played it all
Yeah.
alone. It was really good.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and maybe I should just play it like a Far Cry game or whatever.
Yeah,
I
how I
did.
played it.
And there's these assassination targets that you're gonna wish, man, this would be so much better in co-op, where you take on one of these bosses that's like entrenched in an area, and he's got all his people around him, and oh, it's great. But
Okay,
I
we
played
get
it
it.
under review, so I was playing it by myself. So
So, yeah, Nerds and Other
oh yeah,
Legends.
because co-op wasn't even out yet. 3, 4,
Oh, that's
3.
right. That's right. You had to wait, and then you played it.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot. That takes me back. That takes me
I
back.
forgot. I'm like, why
Blown
didn't I play it?
clear.
Because Dealer and Rand and I were the three of us had it for review, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to take out some of these assassin targets with Dealer, but I forgot there was no. They delayed the co-op. Oh god.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone was into it. Yeah, everyone was hyped for Halo's return. See, let me go back real quick. I don't want to miss some people talking.
We need one more like. We have 24 watching, but we have 23 likes. One more like.
That's right, and we need one more sub too. Give me. Let's get to what am I? Right, yeah, 540. We just need one more sub. If you guys would, hit the like button. That'd be cool. But if you sub, that'd be even cooler. Thank you, and thank you seriously everyone for being here. This is a big crowd. Let me see here. I'm trying to get back to Crippling Debt. Thank you for showing up. I love Crippling Debt. Has become a new one of my favorites. They're so funny. They say I showed back up again. I showed back up. Almost forgot what's the start time. The start time is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Yeah. There you go. Every Tuesday. And and thanks to Colt for jumping on again for saving everything today. Nerds and Other Legends said I would have loved I would love a Bullet Heaven Dead Rising. Is there a Bullet Heaven? I thought it was Bullet Hell. Is that a new genre that I'm not understanding?
Bullet Heaven? I like that.
I like that too. Okay. I like that. I like you a lot. Arcane, what's up, man? Arcane, he says, what's happening is they're chasing a golden goose that is no longer laying golden eggs regularly. Only once in a while does a golden egg come along. I like that. What is that? What are you talking about? Oh, Halo? I think that's what they're, I think that's what he's talking about. Let's see. ADM, can't wait for Mass Effect 4. Would be mad if they did a Valerian game too after the comics do. What? Can't wait for Mass Effect 4. Thank you for calling it Mass Effect 4, by the way, because Andromeda is a spinoff. But no, I can't wait. Mass Effect is, if anyone is here in chat that is new because of my Mass Effect video, then Mass Effect is everything to me. It's everything to me. See, Arcane says Bungie is far from the right group, considering everything that they're going through. Bungie. Oh, okay. I think Arcane's talking about with Marathon, maybe. I don't know.
And maybe just the whole.
Just in general.
Yeah, support.
Right. Okay. Crippling Death says, my bad, I was the missing like. Thank you, Crippling Death. Appreciate you. We're complete now. Assassin. He says, the only studios worth a damn anymore are From Software and Larian Studios. They deliver amazing experiences at the right price with no major technical issues, for the most part. Yeah, unless you're on PC, and then you're effed when it comes to FromSoft games. Because, man, Elden Ring was rough for PC players. But I totally agree.
PC games are rough when they first come out.
Yeah, that's very true.
But it's the perfect platform.
Oh, that's the place to be. Nerds and Other Legends clarifies Vampire Survivals equals Bullet Heaven. Right. Oh, because it's perfect. It does it well. Yeah, I agree. Vampire Survivors is so good. People, that was a game. Again, hey, earlier we talked about AA games and indie games that don't need to be $1 million and they take the world by storm. Vampire Survivors actually got an award, didn't it? Got like an award and stuff.
I think so.
Yeah. Testament to that. Games do not need to be Last of Us. Well, no game needs to be Last of Us 2. That's for sure. Sorry. I'm not gonna hate on everyone for liking that game. Crippling Dead. I'm excited to see what Project Mara is. Xbox needs its own original horror game. We don't have enough of them. Yeah, Project Mara is done by. Is that? I'm sorry, I'm confused. Is that Hellblade devs? Right. Okay, and it's the horror game.
I forgot. I'm not supposed to overreact my facial expressions. Nope. Someone's gonna say Colt nodded his head up and down like way more than you should. And,
oh my God.
They took my face and they printed it out on a big board and they put it out for all the kids to go up and put their face in between my mouth, under my mouth, so I could take a picture with the Colt surprise face.
Right, exactly.
Mom, take my picture. Yeah.
It could be worse.
It could be worse. Exactly. Yeah.
Throw the beanbag in there.
Exactly. God, it's not even funny. It is funny. It's not
they
funny.
Throw like this. The PlayStation guys throw like this too.
They do. Yeah.
Project Mara, I would predict, is not a conventional game. It's probably an experience that gets you immersed into what it's like to have different mental situations or different
Yeah, mental disorder. Wasn't it? It was
disorders and other things. Yeah, is what.
Didn't they say
Donnie.
specifically?
Donnie says.
Donnie says I put my shoes into McDonald's. Hang on, I gotta. The heart thing is always in the way. I put my
He
shoes
goes
into
to McDonald's, the
play
play
place.
place, and they have my face with the mouth open. That's where you put your shoes.
Oh my god.
Whenever I used to go there, I put my shoes
my
in the little
God.
cubby, and I like put my smelly shoes next to everyone's smelly shoes.
You're right,
It's
yeah.
the worst.
It's
Because
fantastic.
I used to run around with no socks, just put my shoes on.
Like you go to like a bowling alley and they're like, "Are these clean, sir?" And they're like, "Yeah, we just sprayed them with chlorine." And you're like, "What the fuck,
Yeah.
man?" It's so.
I
gross.
love it when I hand them back like my size 11s. I'm like, thanks for letting me bowl with you guys today. And I hand them the shoes, and they have to pinch them with both together, and they're like raging hot from me doing two
Right.
games of bowling.
They pick them up with tongs. They're like, "Thank you, sir." And they just drop them off in the cult hole behind them.
Like when I hand them my shoes, you can see like the heat waves coming off of them.
Right.
Thanks for letting me
exactly.
borrow your wooden shoes or whatever they're, your leather shoes.
They're so comfortable. I love
Because they spray them with pepper spray.
it. Right, exactly. And they go, "Here, kids. This is what it's like to live in America."
I put some Tiger Balm in the bottom of those shoes. It'll smell fantastic.
We're bringing it all back. Oh my god, I love it.
No, you're like, here's the shoes back. The guy that bowling on it takes some Tiger Balm, goes,
Right? Yeah. Oh my god. I
my
love
friend
it.
who's a dentist said that they put like I don't know what you call it, like mentholatum or something on their upper lip when they wear that mask, and they don't have to, because you can still smell people. That's wonderful. Welcome to the show. By
Welcome
way, I
to
have
the
go to
show.
dentist tomorrow morning.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, to get my new teeth in. Oh, great! They're gonna clip that too.
Right.
Here's a meme of Colt with no teeth.
Yeah, Lotus says, "How dare you show emotion?" I agree, man. Fuck those people out there. Whatever that dumbass's name today, screaming about doing dogs and cats or whatever he was saying. God, man, that guy was just insane. I was like, bro, these are video games. Are you still?
I'll
talking about
have
video
every
games?
horse in your property.
Right, exactly. Right. It's so bad. And I hate it.
I woke up to that. Like, I was still in bed and I had my earbud in.
I was gonna
Someone,
ask if you played
tagged
it up
me, and I
against the
clicked it, and I
back-
was like, "Holy crap, this guy!"
right.
And he's assuming he knows what nationality I am. I'm like, what? He knows what nationality I am, and he's out here just accosting everyone.
right.
you know?
Exactly.
Red-
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Holly, what are your thoughts?
No, I will reserve.
Okay. I think Holly. I think maybe I was laughing about something else, and Holly was telling me, "No, that's not what he meant," and that's why I was laughing. I have no idea, but that's why
Who
I
knows
laughed.
anymore?
We'll go with it.
We'll go with that. Okay, fantastic. Let's see,
Haters.
Nerds and Other Legends. I don't know if Bullet Heaven is a genre, but it feels right to me. I think it does. I think when Bullet Hell gets it right, it becomes Bullet Heaven, right? That's fair. That's fair. Crippling Debt says, that's fine. I can't think of anything scarier than imagining the things I could hallucinate while contemplating drug use. So, I can't think of anything scarier than imagining the things I could hallucinate. Yeah, that's pretty backwards. But hey, you're
Hooked on phonics works for me.
right. Exactly. Oh my God, Lotus! Thank you. My God, thank you so much, Lotus. You're so damn nice. Lotus drops a $50 super chat, and they say, "Haters, yeah, haters gonna hate. Oh God, Taylor, don't come after me. Thank you so
They
much.
said- said it in their best.
Hate.
Stop it!
Lotus said it in their best Witcher Geralt impression. Haters.
Right, haters.
Do it.
Yeah. Fuck. That was my Geralt impression.
Can you imagine, like, he's like, what are we doing today in the studio? We're just going to do the grunts and oofs as you're taking damage. Okay.
Did you like my manly?
Hey, Ichiwawa. Is that one gonna be in there? Ichiwawa?
Nino Kuni.
I said it. Ting tang, walla walla bing bang.
Sham it.
Oh my god.
Sham it.
What was that?
Nothing.
Should we keep that in?
No, take it out. Take it out. Take it out. Get the dogs. Get the dogs.
When you get res, it's like, I'm just gonna go upstairs and have some alone time.
That's right. Yeah, Yennefer's like, all right, Geralt. Oh, man. Thank you guys for putting up with our insanity. This is Geralt voice.
Do you like hot fudge sundaes? All right.
I think for the people in the chat, tomorrow I will post the link to the video so that you can bask in the Shamit glory.
Oh my god.
That's right.
Understand.
Yeah, that's right. Right, because there's
And
the
then
video.
you will understand.
Right.
I think my contacts are gonna fold out.
They're going to pop out of your... You do the noise better. The noise, I can't do it. There you go.
That's it.
So good. I love it. Love it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Ah, God, my cheeks are.
That would be
coming
so
undone.
great. I think you could probably go, if you have the PC version of Witcher, you could probably go to the voice clips and just grab a montage of Geralt getting accosted. Ow, ooh, E-I-O-U.
IEAOU. Oh my
Yikes.
god.
Red, I think our soundboard needs to get the dogs.
Oh my god. Oh my god. We do need a Shamit. Oh my god. That is so
You do
true.
at least need the
Get
Shamit.
the dogs.
Get the dogs. Oh my god. So you guys gotta look up. You guys gotta look up the video, the Sham. Just type in Shamit.
Look what Assassin goes. You guys just got me in trouble with the people I'm delivering to. They heard red cuss and thought it was me.
Whatever. So Assassin is getting out of his mail truck and he hears me coming through his speakers. The neighbors look over and they just hear fuck. They think it's Assassin just getting out of his fuck. Like, what's wrong with
That
him?
reminds me of Gaz put together this like high production quality remix trailer for Cyberpunk right before the game released, and he opens it up with Johnny Silverhand saying the F word, and he goes, "It got demonetized." It's like the opening thing. Turns around and goes, "Fudge." I'm like, why'd you cut that out? He goes, I don't want to censor it. It'll be lame. I'm like,
Right.
No, completely demonetized on the video.
That's so true.
French fries.
Wake the fudge up, samurai. We got some nachos to eat, or whatever he says. Man, I still can't believe. So I completely completed Cyberpunk 2077. Totally finished it all the way, all the achievements. 403 hours in total. Because I put it down, I put it down a couple times, and that was essentially my fourth playthrough. But I got all the endings this time around, and that was such a bittersweet, like, I'll never play this game again kind of feeling. And I got that the first time when I played The Witcher, because I did the same thing with The Witcher 3. I got all the achievements, except for the beat the game on the hardest difficulty, which is not gonna do that. But I did get everything else. But I did that, and I was really proud of myself. Have you guys ever had that where you put so much time into a game that you love, and you're like, I don't think I'm ever gonna play this again, and I love it so much? Chat, let me know if you have a game like that.
I want to play Elden Ring again so bad. Like, I so badly want to do it. But the DLC, it'll take me until the DLC comes out to like finish that game again, I swear. But oh man, it's like thinking about starting it is so daunting. I'm just like, that was like 250 hours of my first playthrough, and I'm not gonna want to skip anything. Crazy. I know, but I'm like, I did a strength build the last time, which is the harder route, and I'm like, I want to make a magic build for the DLC, but I have to be anyway.
So that would be yours. You're missing. I've been going through this weird. I think Colt has too. Going through this weird like nostalgic, like I want to go replay everything vibe. Like I'm playing Dragon Age Origins right now, and that's just been so good. Colt, you said you've been playing Mafia 3 and Assassin's Creed. Well, Assassin's Creed, you didn't play that at launch, right? You're just sort of.
I played like a few hours at launch, and I kind of gave up on it. I'm trying not to do that anymore, but yeah, I mean, was looking back at like, what game do I want to replay for the second time or maybe even third time? And last year, at the beginning of the year around this time, I was playing Andromeda, and I loved the game compared to liking it the first time I played it. Like, you remember, we were talking well through it last year that I was absolutely loving Andromeda the second time around.
Yeah. Oh man.
The characters suck, but everything was so great. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Lotus. Sorry. Yeah. Lotus says, I have 2 games I refuse to finish 100% because I will be so sad when they end. Just Cause 3 and Hogwarts. That's right. Lotus loves. I think they said that is their like favorite games. Life is Strange, Just Cause 3, and Hogwarts. I believe. I think Life is Strange 2. I think is what they said. Yeah, that is a feeling where it's like, I don't want it to end.
It takes so long to get all the content in all the regions in Just Cause 3, and then Hogwarts has all the Merlin trials, which most of us did a lot of them, but there are so many, like 200 of them or something.
Wow.
Yeah, that's such a great game.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, I loved Hogwarts so much. And actually, I remember playing Just Cause 1 back in the day on original Xbox, and it was such a different kind of game. I just remember having my friends come over and looking at this game that you can hijack people in the air. It was just, that game was just, again, genre defining kind of game that doesn't get enough love. Just Cause does not get enough love. They keep making them. I'm like, what are you doing? Come on, man. People recognize this game. It's great. Crippling
2's
Dead
the best,
says,
though. 2's the best one.
Two was really good, yeah. And then they tried to do some new stuff with 3, and that sort of carried over into 4. 4 went with like the weather stuff and like the rocket. You could attach rockets to things, and Lotus is so mad right now. Lotus is like, you don't know what you're talking about. Crippling Debt says State of Decay 2, but then I picked it back up last year and can't stop playing because they keep putting out cool updates. Yeah, I did too. Actually, I played State of Decay 2 again, and because when you're playing those kind of games, you're not really like playing them to beat them. State of Decay 2 is sort of like a sandbox, but I did play it up until I beat the game where you have to choose to leave or whatever choice you want to make.
Yeah.
State of Decay 2 is a great example. I cannot wait for State of Decay 3. Do you guys think that it's gonna be similar to closer camera, offset camera, like Last of Us? Remember those leaks that we heard a while back? You remember this?
Holly, did you hear about that?
No.
That State of Decay 3 looks like The Last of Us 1.
No, I didn't hear that. But I don't really like State of Decay. So
okay.
I tend to not pay as much attention to. I mean, I do just because, to know what's going on, but I just don't think it sticks as well. So, sorry. I feel bad. I don't like State of Decay.
It's okay.
I don't love State of Decay. I beat the whole game, and I've played it several different playthroughs with different people. So I've got, 60 or 80 hours into it. There's just things that it needs to do better, and I hope that 3 does that. But I didn't really play the first one, so my really introduction was 2, and I played the crap out of it, really. Like almost twice, which is a lot for a game that big.
It's got good bones. I feel like there's a lot of good mechanics and stuff in it. I just don't feel like it quite was fleshed out enough.
Yeah, and that character needs to move faster and better, and not so stilted, and just the way you like stop, move, mantle, jump.
Wait, keep talking.
I'm like this. Huh?
Is he getting up and performing? He said, "Keep talking." Blah, 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 blah. So,
Anyway.
Yeah. Are you getting Rise of the Ronin?
Wait, how do we jump to that already? No,
Because
I'm
we're
not.
filling time.
Oh. Wait,
Okay,
wait, is Red not on the thing?
Oh yeah, he stepped away.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that. Sorry. I was in the middle of
You're
doing the movements. Rise of the Ronin looks cool, but those like Wo Long beat me to a pulp.
Mm-hmm.
You loved Wo. Did you play Wo Long? Did you finish it?
I played just a little bit, and I'm not the best at it. And I was like, right. But Rise of the Ronin it looks really interesting. But my problem with it is it comes out the same day as Dragon's Dogma 2, and I'm gonna play that. So it's not that I'm not gonna play Ronin, but
did you hear the rumor that Dragon's Dogma 2 has a performance mode, so it will run at 60?
I did hear that. Yes.
When we saw the state of play, there's like 2 clips out of 10 that were running at 60, and the rest were 30. And I'm like, oh. And they said it was on a PS5, so I was like, yeah, it's got performance mode, which it will on the Xbox. So
I think they said it was gonna be uncapped, right? Like they're just gonna let it ride.
I don't think that's a good idea, but that would be really bad if it was just uncapped as is and looks like 30 a lot, but I doubt it. Crippling Debt says, you've got to be talking about an older build of State of Decay 2. The animations in State of Decay are really quite good. State of Decay 1 is still janky, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
They made a bunch of improvements to the lighting. I don't think they changed the animations. I think I played it a few months ago. I reinstalled it and did like a little playthrough to grab some footage. But for its time, for a 2018 game, the animations are still pretty stilted, even with the updates. But I've heard that Undead Labs is trying to really AAA it and make it look better, and that they want it to look like the representation of the trailer, which the trailer for State of Decay 2 was really fluid looking, and then the game didn't really live up to that in full. But I mean, got to call it like it is. Like State of Decay was like a 68 Metacritic when it launched, and then the year later or the 6 months later they did the Daybreak update. They cleaned up the lighting. They made it better and added other improvements. So I think the game would be sitting somewhere in the mid 70s. So I hope they do even better on the third. That's how I feel.
That's how I feel. And it ties the rate. And I was letting the dogs out. The dog. And then he looked at me weird, and I was like, never mind. You didn't, whatever. One thing with zombie games that I downloaded Dead Island 2, and I was like, it's on Game Pass. I'll try it out. And I said it last year whenever it came out. I was like, I know that I'm not going to like this game. Not because it's not good. It's just that I think I found what I like about those. I know Cole's like, I love that game. But I love Dying Light 2 because it has a much more serious tone. And there's not a whole, like, every time we see a zombie game, for the most part, zombie games now, or just zombie anything, it has a very satirical, it's very B level, kind of like Dead Island 2. And for anyone who's a huge Walking Dead fan like me, The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live TV show just premiered, and people are like raving about how it's like return to form. It's so good. And so that's why I think I gravitate more to State of Decay 2, because it does have a, it's not like it's super serious, but it does have like a tone that you can take more seriously than like a Dead Rising and a Dead Island and stuff like that. Dying Light was actually the same way. Very, very serious. Lots of serious things happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's why. But I did try to play Dead Island 2, and I was like, I see what it is. I'm sure it's super funny and silly, but I just couldn't do it. I was like, I'll come back to this someday whenever I can. Oh, sorry, that was Crippling Debt. Palpatine, what's up, man? State of Decay 2 has BS enemy spawns and BS missions. But I do like the aesthetics and the car sounds. Like, that's your takeaway. Dead Island 2 looks amazing and is pretty funny, but didn't love it. Okay, fair enough. Assassin says there's practically no game I'm not excited for, to be honest. I know that's to your own detriment, I will say. But you know, you do you, man. I love the Dying Light games. They are so good. They are so good. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma. You touch on that. That's gonna be rough. That's gonna be rough. Like to pry me away. That's gonna be hard to pry me away from that game. Colt, I bought.
Yeah, I got an hour into that game and it feels really
right.
ancient, but I'm gonna give it a full try.
Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah, or even 1 if I get done with Mirage. There's a couple games I want to get into, but
So you've
I
got
may be getting close to Dragon's Dogma 2. It's like what, the first part of March?
right, exactly. Yeah, it's 21st, right?
March 21. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, oh man, it's like my most anticipated. Thanks to Holly, by the way. She let me know right before. It's probably one of the reasons I'm broke right now. She's like, hey, by the way, Dragon's Dogma Steelbook up right now on Best Buy. You got to get it right now. And I was like, fuck, I gotta pre-order the game now when I couldn't afford it, and I did because I'm obsessed with Steelbooks. But it comes at no extra cost, so that's kind of why I had to jump on it. So I got it pre-ordered. And really, really excited for Dragon's Dogma. Chat, are you guys excited for Dragon's Dogma? Because it was a very niche cult classic. Cult, not cult. 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 But I remember playing that and being like, this is so good. Like, Colt, I don't know if you know about like the little details in Dragon's Dogma series. Like, if your character is too tall, for example, like whenever you're making your character, you can't do certain things, and like you move differently, like, or you'll
Really?
come up to like a hole in like you'll be running around with your party in a dungeon, and you'll run up to this little hole, and it'll say press B, and it'll be like you're too, like if you were shorter you could fit through this hole to get to a secret room or whatever, but you're too tall.
Wow.
And you just cannot, there's nothing that you can do about it. You're just like, fuck, I wish I was shorter. Or like if you're not tall enough, you can't jump to certain ledges and stuff like that and grab. It's really in depth, and the pawn system is really the biggest draw to it. So like your pawns will learn as they go, and then they'll comment as you're fighting on things. So like if you have like a woman in your party, for example, and like a troll comes around, they'll say like, the beast is excited at the sight of women, and you're like, get out of here, Holly, get out. And like, but they won't know. I'm not kidding either. Like, but like your party members will like learn about like the enemy types, and they'll like do mid-battle shout outs as they go along. It's just insane. So
Don't
Lotus
you loan your pawns out too? Don't
Yeah.
you loan them out to other people?
Yeah, well, it's not like actively loaning. It's like they are just out there in the ether. So like they're just out there for your friends to recruit. So like Holly, you create your main pawn. You can only create one pawn, and that's like your main like ride and die pawn, and then
Your
you can
basic
recruit. Yeah, that's like your Batman, your Robin to your Batman, right? So you create your character, then you create your one main pawn, then you can recruit random pawns either created by Capcom or other players, and they'll just be out there in the ether. So you walk up to this stone and you go into like this little realm, darkness realm, right? And then you summon these created pawns, and whenever you take them with you, whenever they go back to the player, like, so, you know, I save my game, I go to bed, I wake up the next day, I turn on Dragon's Dogma 2, and my pawn, you know, I'll walk over to him and he'll be like, I've learned something by quests that I've been on, or whatever, and it'll be like knowledge of wolves, enemies leveled up to +2 because you, Holly, took my pawn and went and fought a bunch of wolves when you were fighting with
That's
my pawn. So that's just like an example. The game is just, it's so good. So anyone who doesn't know when's that coming, Matthew? That is March 21st, Dragon's Dogma 2. They also said you don't need to play Dragon's Dogma 1 to understand the world. It's like set in an alternate universe. You don't need to
Don't need to read the books.
You need to read the books, the audio books, and the TV show, and the back of the milk carton to understand.
But yeah, for you guys that aren't familiar with it, check it out. Can't wait for the next Resident Evil. You guys think the next... I heard that Resident Evil 5 is indeed the next one. Man, I can't imagine how
Surprised
they're
it's
gonna...
not Code Veronica. Yeah.
I know. What the fuck? Why is...
Everybody wants Code Veronica, right?
They know though. They know. Didn't they do one of their community polls like on their website recently, and they said, what games would you
Yeah, I
like
think
for us
so.
to be? And Code Veronica was on there, right?
And in Resident Evil 9 too, I think, right? Like they were like they had a
Games
list
to
right, of
continue?
remakes. Yeah.
That's all they have to do is
Man.
just work on those, and they'll be set. Just
Right.
work on all their remasters and remakes. Yeah.
Man.
And a Monster Hunter.
And they need to pull out a PlayStation move and remake Village, because it's getting old. It's getting PlayStation old.
So did you guys ever go back into it with the DLC that allows third person?
Oh no,
No.
It's really good. It's really good. And like whenever
I didn't finish it.
now's your chance. Yeah, if you go
Really
back and play
good.
it,
It's fun.
it's
How
really
far did
good.
you get?
I got 2 of the tokens inside the lobby out of 4. So I don't know,
So you
quarter
make
of
it
the way
to the
through.
dollhouse? Did you go to the dollhouse?
Part of did I? I did in Redfall.
Dollhouse. The dollhouse. Yeah. The dollhouse is really. That one was cool. It was cool.
It's
I mean,
really
like,
scary.
I'm not good with those scary games. I don't love them, but
It's not as scary
Yeah.
as 7. 7 is absolutely like pee your pants terrifying.
I will tell you, the scariest part about Village or Resident Evil 8 is that there's a lot of times where there's not a lot of music, ambient music, a lot of the times. And Lady Dimitrescu, or Lady D, the big lady who every dude wanted to step on him or whatever. You'll just be walking around and she'll, because there's no ambient music, there is no like build up, like preemptive, like warning, like that something's about to happen. So you'll just be like walking around and you'll hear heels clacking in the distance. You're like, oh fuck, and she will just start walking towards you without saying a single thing.
I
Just show
tried
up.
to tell you, and I'm like
Yes.
walking around like this.
Yep, exactly. And you're just like, dude, and that was the scariest. Yodana Gazada. Oh, Spartan Kai? Yes. Oh my god, yeah, Spartan Kai, if anyone doesn't know. Yeah, people are thirsting over her too, because she is 6'4", I think, in the Halo TV show. She's one of the Spartans in the Halo show, and she's like 6'4", and people are in love with her, and they want to be, stepped on and whatnot.
Trash.
Anyway. Holly just... Oh, Holly. Oh, goodness. Sorry, I'm going to go back up real quick. Great Monad says, I fear Ubisoft will kill Assassin's Creed with AC Unity having its own live service battle passes. Sorry.
What?
Oh, AC Infinity. Sorry.
Oh.
Oh, AC Infinity.
So this is a hub that Ubisoft is doing for Assassin's Creed, where you can launch any of the Assassin's Creeds directly. And I would assume you have to have them all installed, or it lets you launch whichever ones you have installed. You can like quick resume to them, I think. I don't know who has more than 2 Assassin's Creed games installed on their machine at once, but it seems kind of weird. Especially for a game that comes out almost every year. But
that's strange. I remember Infinite or Infinity was like a code name for what we thought was like a code name for one of what people thought was another Assassin's Creed game, and it turned out just to be a hub, right? That's the same thing. Anyway.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know.
All the time.
God, all the time. Palpatine says, looking forward to Dragon's Dogma, but Dragon's Dogma 2, but the mechanics were a little too opaque for my taste. Yeah, I get that. Arcane Village release in 2021, so it should be coming soon. Yeah, the next Resident Evil. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Resident Evil 4 was the one that everyone was looking forward to for so long. Yeah.
They delivered.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. United says red nose. I know. I know. I didn't say anything.
Red nose.
Mash, sup? Thanks for joining. Thank you so much for jumping down. Never seen you before, or maybe I have. I don't know. But either way, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. If you're new, hit the sub button, and we'll see you Tuesdays. Do it. Thank you. Lotus says, oh, that's right. It was terrifying in VR. So Resident Evil 7 was actually my first VR game that I ever played. Talk about, man, I'll never forget that because I was there. I was there at the dinner table. I was like, no, don't make me eat it. Yeah, it was, it was something. Have you guys, Holly, you're a VR gal. You've ever played a horror VR?
Seven has like those spots in your brain where you start to like cuddle in the corner and like hide your eyes and try to like go to a happy place when I think about playing that game, because it really, Jack really got to me.
The Kool-Aid man.
Oh my gosh. So there's absolutely no freaking way I could ever play 7 in VR, like ever. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I do like VR, but I might be able to play 8 in VR. I think I could do that. 4 in VR, I could do that, but not 7. 7 is just, it holds a special place in hell. Like, it's so
right.
It's so scary. So scary.
I'll never forget it. Like hearing him walking around. And for people who don't, and this is the thing, for anyone here in chat who hasn't tried VR, I could explain it to you all day long, and you could sit here and go, I get it. The thing is, you don't. You don't. Like, and I didn't understand that because people said that to me before I ever tried VR. They're like, I get it, you're there and you're seeing stuff, blah, blah, blah. You really don't understand VR like that until you get into it, and you will like almost fall over when you realize how immersive it really is. It's like you're there. I mean, if done well, it's incredible. I fell in love with VR after that. I got an Oculus Quest 2, and I played so many VR games that I haven't played it in like over a year now, actually. But you got to try.
We have this really cool place here. I think it's called Meta VR. It used to be called that, where you put this like Ghostbuster backpack on, and it's got a gun attached to it, and you put the whole headset on, and you go in a warehouse, and there's only like 4 poles, and they have the entire thing laser mapped in a VR game. And you run around and you play like Halo, but you're actually like walking around. When you want to go to that wall and hide behind the wall, you run to that spot and you shoot from behind the wall. And then when you respawn, you have to go back to a certain spot on the floor. So you're walking around with this giant headset, 2 different
and the
locations.
backpack like runs the VR thing.
Yes. And the gun and all of that stuff. It's really cool. It is.
That
really
is so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
I played
that
Firewall. I love that for you all. Yeah. I played Firewall in VR, and I actually went out and bought the gun for it. It's like, I'm sure you've seen a Holly for Quest. It's just like a big, it looks like a piece of PVC pipe, but it's like in the shape of a gun with like an analog stick on it. And that game had compatibility for it, and it was just so cool getting an actual like rifle and walking around in this tactical Rainbow Six game, and it just there's just nothing like it. It's just insane. VR is just such an and by the way, we didn't talk about that. We're running out of time, but one of the studios that were shut down by PlayStation actually was VR Studio, right? And that kind of shows how they're just not really into that.
It's very interesting that they just did that announcement that they're offering PC support, and then like 3 days later they're saying, oh, but by the way, we shut our own studio down.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's a really, really good point. That is a really good point. And the third party stuff.
I guarantee that's the only reason they went to PC, or offering to start to port to PC, because they brought this thing out a year ago, and now they're basically canceling their own ideas for it. So
right.
Yeah.
Man, it's so fantastic. God, I want to do VR now. That Phasmophobia game, I'm telling you, it looks so good. Oh my god, I would love to play that in VR. I've watched people play Phasmophobia, and people don't know Phasmophobia is essentially Ghost Hunter in VR. It's not just in VR. It's on PC. You can play it on a pancake, as Asa would say.
Asa.
Yeah, exactly. But because he's a big VR guy too. But anyway. Oh, man. Crippling Debt says, it was my first and only VR experience so far. A bit too clunky for me, but I'm waiting for the holograms at this point. Yeah, exactly. Crippling Debt, are you talking about Resident Evil VR? Is that what we're talking about? Have you guys... VR? Oh, that's right. Sorry. I'm going backwards here. I only use it for Gran Turismo 7. Right. Yeah. Right. I've heard racing in VR is really, really cool. Whenever I play VR, I'm standing because it feels weird. It feels weird to be walking around while you're sitting. I don't know. I can't do it, but if you get like
while you're sitting.
Well,
while you're sitting.
That's how it feels. Yeah. I'm like floating around, like it's just odd. But anyway, Resident Evil 7. Yeah, gotcha. Look, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Really, really means a lot. We had a bunch of people here today and had some new subscribers, and I sincerely appreciate that. That means everything. I promise I'm gonna start doing videos again soon. It's been kind of crazy. It's been a ding-dang week, I will say, in the world of life. So that's always fun. It's always fun. Holly, what you gonna be getting into? Who are you and where are you?
That blue number. On Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central on the Infinite Podcast here on YouTube. And I'll probably be playing some Helldivers and trying to make more progress in Cyberpunk, and need to get to Phantom Liberty and burn through it. It's like 30-40 hours, right? It's pretty long.
That's what I put into it. You don't have to, but that's what I did.
Yeah. Well, no, I want to do it right. So, yeah.
All right. That's awesome.
Thanks, Colt, for being here.
Colt, thank you so much,
welcome.
man. Yes. Colt Eastwood, everyone knows you and everyone loves you, but for people who don't, tell them. Tell them.
For people that don't know me or people that don't love me?
People, both. Tell people what would you say to the people who don't love you first?
Thank you for making my life better. Appreciate it. All of you. The haters, I love it.
Right.
No, you can find me at Colt Eastwood. One word, on YouTube, Twitter, and even Instagram, where I waste time watching reels. And I don't know what I'm going to be covering this week. I have no idea. But thanks everybody for checking out the show here and supporting what Red Wolf and what That Blue Number are doing. And yeah, thank you, and thank you for being on my show today, both of you. Thank you. I'm going to take this channel. This is mine now. I'll just drag and drop. There we go.
Give me that.
Thank you. Just give me that. And it's good to be unblocked on your channel too. It's been pretty nice to be able to.
Thank
be in the
you
chat,
so much. Oh,
yeah.
man.
Watch yourself.
Man, you watch yourself. We got all that stuff straightened out, and Twitter exploded afterwards. So if you know, you know. Woo, boy. Anyway, all right, guys. Chat. We love you so much. Thank you, guys, and we will see you guys next week. Goodbye, everyone.